Parents, teens, are you looking for a solution to your substance abuse problem? We're here today at Hope Academy, a charter school, free tuition. They have the solutions that you're looking for. You're going to hear empowering stories of recovery, and you don't want to miss this show. Stay tuned, coming up on Living by Design.
Imagine walking away from a 28-year executive management career in corporate America to pursue your passion of empowering the world, giving them the tools they need to live their dreams. The Living by Design show with Kathy Holloway Hill. Impactful, informative, empowering. Take a look at a few of the guests that have been on the show. It's your time to be living by design.
Welcome to Living by Design. I'm Kathy Holloway Hill. We all know that Fairbanks is an addiction center, and it has helped millions of individuals overcome their addictions. But what you may not know is that Hope Academy is an amazing organization that helps young people get back on track. We love our teens, and Hope Academy is doing everything to make sure that they become superb leaders. And I am here today with Miss Rachelle Gardner, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Hope Academy. Rachelle, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Absolutely, yes. Now, I know you're the Chief Operating Officer for Hope Academy, but you began your career at Fairbanks. So talk about your vision when you were at Fairbanks, with actually got you to think about creating Hope Academy.
Well, I've been at Fairbanks for over 22 years, and I started as a counselor and working with young people and trying to help them stay clean and sober. We were returning them back to their home schools, and they were struggling. Mm-hmm. And nationally, about 85% of kids relapse after the first 90 days of returning to school after treatment. And at that time, I said, we need to do something to help our kids maintain sobriety. And what does that look like? With adults, you know, their job is where they spend most of their time. With teens, they spend most of their time in school. So I said, we need to look into having a school for these young people, a place where they could get academic success and also learn the tools of recovery that will sustain, you know, over time. Right. And so we, at that time, decided to look into starting a recovery high school.
That's awesome. I absolutely love that, because we know how important it is for teens to have the support and have the love and have the nurturing that they need. And while Fairbanks is awesome in their addictions programs and all of their resources that they have, like you said, when you go back to the exact same environment that got you in trouble in the first place, how is that going to help you with your, because addiction, we all know addiction is a lifelong thing. You know, right. Once you become an addict, you have to continue to fight and make sure that you stay sober for the rest of your life. So sending them back to a place, which is what caused the problem in the first place, can be an issue. So I'm really glad you did that. Now talk a little bit more about what Hope Academy offers our teens once they enroll.
So Hope Academy is a charter school sponsored by the mayor of Indianapolis. It is a tuition-free high school. Students get a Core 40 diploma just like they would get at any other public school. It is a public high school. Okay. It offers you know, the regular courses, but what's a little different about our school is that within our school you can see recovery working. You know, they have a recovery coach that works with them on a daily basis. The teachers are all trained in substance impacted learning. The class sizes are very small. That's one of the things that the kids say that they love about the school, is they feel like they get individual attention. They have relationships with the staff. They're not just another student in thousands and thousands of kids. Right. That people really know what their issues are, what they're dealing with, and can help them at any given point throughout the day.
Now, this is very important. It's very key. You said something that I think a lot of you viewers may want to hear her say again. Tuition is how much?
It's free.
Tuition is free. That's very important, because a lot of times what prevents parents from getting their children into a school that may help them with these types of issues is it costs too much.
Correct.
So you're funded through?
We're funded through the state, just like all the other high schools around the country or the state are. We then fundraise for the rest of the money that we need to educate our students. It costs a little more to educate kids here because we have so many services wrapped around them. But those services are needed. That's what they're not getting in the traditional high school, because there's not. They have a lot of other costs that they have to do. So this school really helps specialize in supporting students that need that little extra support in staying clean and sober.
Absolutely. Now, if there are parents watching, and I know there are, who have children that they know are having issues, and maybe they're in denial and they don't realize it yet, but after watching the show, they'll realize it, and they don't want to know how can they get their children enrolled. What is the process for getting their child enrolled in the program? Do they first have to go through the Fairbanks treatment program and then enroll, or can they just?
No, and that's a misconception, that because we sit on Fairbanks campus, and Fairbanks is a sponsor of Hope Academy, you do not have to go through Fairbanks in order to come to Hope Academy. The child has to want to stay clean and sober, have a desire to make changes in his or her life, and want to succeed and graduate from high school. So all you have to do is call our main office, and the school secretary will take your name and schedule an appointment. You come in for an interview with the principal and the guidance counselor and the recovery coach, and you talk about what your journey has been like and what you want to accomplish by coming to Hope Academy. It is a recovery school for students that are struggling with drug and alcohol use. So you have to obviously have that issue in order to receive that support, but also that you want to stay clean and sober, because it is a job. It is almost a full-time job for these young people to go to school, stay clean and sober, and to grow up as young people.
Absolutely. Now, is there an age cutoff, so it's just the same? Are there elementary classes?
No, it is a 9th through 12th grade.
Okay, so high school only. Okay.
But even if you're a 19 or 20-year-old and you only have a few credits left and you really want that high school diploma and you need that support, Hope Academy is open to those students. We have a lot of students that come to us that have that are juniors and seniors in years, but really sophomore or freshman credits. And so we do a lot of helping them get caught up so that they can at least graduate maybe in the 5th year. So we have a lot of 5th year seniors, but the diploma is important to them.
Absolutely.
And the success in academics is important, and that's what you can get here at Hope Academy.
That's great. And you actually have a graduation ceremony.
We do. It's been every May. This will be our 10th graduation ceremony. Wow. And it's the most rewarding experience for me, but I know it's very rewarding for parents. The parents say, I never thought the day would come. The students thought, I never thought I would be this successful. And they talk about their change in their life since they have been clean and sober and have experienced what Hope can provide them.
Yes, and I want you to go ahead and give the information if someone wants to contact Hope Academy because they want to get their child enrolled or they want to get their teen enrolled. What's the information? The phone number, website? The
phone number is area code 317-572-9440.
And it's on your screen.
It's on our screen. It takes you to our Administrative Secretary, Lori Bush, and she can schedule you an appointment. And our website is hopeacademyrhs.org.
Awesome. So it's on your screen. If you are seeing signs, please don't be in denial, because we have this magnificent resource here for you, for your teen. You want to graduate from high school. You want your teen to be one of our future leaders, and so do I. Rachelle, thank you so much for all of the valuable information. This is really going to make a difference in our society, and we really thank you for sharing your information.
Well, thank you, Kathy, for having me.
Stay tuned. There's more coming up on Living by Design.
Coming up on Living by Design.
Defining moment that made you realize, ooh, I need to do something.
Yeah, well, I used heroin like twice, and then realizing I was having withdrawal symptoms after using it a couple times, and I'm just I don't want to live like this forever.
welcome back to Living by Design. We are now here with Carmela. And first, Carmela, I want to say I am so proud of you because you are a student here at Hope Academy. And I'm so proud of everything that you have done with your life thus far. I know you have goals, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. What are some of your future goals?
Well, I'm graduating this semester and going to Ivy Tech for 2 years, and then I want to go to the University of Indianapolis and become a psychiatric nurse.
Oh my goodness, a psychiatric nurse. I love that goal. Psychiatry is just really, you know, it's one of the things I absolutely love, I'm passionate about. So good, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about what brought you here to Hope Academy.
Well, I struggled with some things in my past and depression, which led to substance abuse. And I came to Fairbanks for treatment and ended up coming to Hope.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there are so many teens that struggle with depression. It's just so very common. As a matter of fact, some of the statistics show that about 15 to 20% of adolescents are on antidepressants. That's pretty staggering. So you realized that you was depressed and you was doing some things that, you know, led into that. What were some of the things that you were doing or taking that caused you to realize that there was a problem?
Well, it just started off, you know, normal experimenting, and then, I don't know, I realized I had a problem when, you know, I just was like craving it and like doing things I shouldn't be doing to get it.
Now, when you were craving it, what were you craving?
Alcohol.
Okay, alcohol. Okay, so, and you were getting it. Mm-hmm. And how old were you?
When I first started drinking, I was 12, but it didn't really get bad until I was 14.
Okay, so you started drinking at 12, and by the time you were 14, were you still just drinking, or were there other things you were doing?
By the time I was 14, I did pills and smoked.
Okay, prescription pills for like
whatever I could get.
Oh, whatever you could get your hands on, Xanax or anything like that?
Just whatever.
Okay, just whatever. Now, I have to ask, you said you started your drinking at 12 and then you had started doing other things at 14. Who was getting this stuff for you?
Well, it started out with just my best friend who was a couple years older than me, and then just whoever I could get it from.
So your best friend, if they were a couple of years older than you, that means they were 16.
Well, she was 14 when I was 12.
Okay, so she was 14.
Yeah.
You can't buy alcohol until you're 21.
She got it from her parents.
Oh, okay. She was kind of sneaking it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. But it was still enough for you to satisfy what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was just to numb the feeling, and you know, can you talk a little bit more about the feelings? You just wanted to numb the feeling so you could just get through the day?
Just being sad and depressed and just not wanting to feel like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and did it work?
It did.
Temporarily?
Temporarily, yeah.
Did you feel like you had to continue to do more and more and more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
To get the same numbing. Okay. And at what point did you realize, uh-oh, this is getting out of control? Did you have like an epiphany or a defining moment that made you realize, ooh, I need to do something?
Yeah, well, I used heroin like twice, and then realizing like, you know, I was having like withdrawal symptoms after using it like a couple times, and I'm just like, I don't want to like live like this forever, and I realized like I needed help.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because I think a lot of people think that if they try a recreational drug once or twice, I'm good, I'm okay.
No, it's not like that.
Exactly. You can have withdrawal problems or withdrawal symptoms from just a couple of years. I don't even think I knew that. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good to know. So when you started realizing, oh, I'm having withdrawal, I don't want to have to keep doing this to prevent is it a sickness or?
Yeah, you just, like your whole body, you feel like crap.
Really? Yeah. Like you have the flu?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So when that started occurring, did you first get more to get rid of the sickness?
No, my mom took me to the doctor.
Oh, your mom realized, okay. So, or did you go to your mom and say, hey, Mom?
Yeah, my mom's really awesome. Like, I can tell her anything, so yeah, I love her.
I love that. Yeah, I really wish we had more moms that were that way. So teens wouldn't be afraid and have to hide it, and you know, there is no shame. that's what I want viewers to know. There is no shame. This could happen to anyone at any time in your life. So that's great. You went to your mom, and what did you say to her?
I just told her, you know, I need to go to the doctor. I feel like crap. Like, here's what happened.
And you told her all about the drugs?
Yeah, I told her not all of it. I mean, no kid wants to, like, tell their mom.
I know.
But, you know, you don't want to disappoint your parents.
Yeah. And so you told her you needed to go to the doctor. And did she take you to a regular doctor because she thought you were just sick?
No, like, she knew why.
Okay. And then that's when we contacted Hope Academy and we started making some arrangements. Okay, awesome. So you came to Hope Academy, and how do you feel about the program and the treatments, the resources, and everything that you've received?
I really like Hope. Like, it's, I mean, we get our education here, but they focus on recovery, and there's always someone here we can talk to. Yeah.
That's great.
I love the staff here.
That's great. What classes are you taking here?
I'm taking a lot. English, econ, environmental science, history, government, novels.
And you were an A and B student before any of this started.
Yeah.
And now you've gotten back to being an A and B student.
And graduating early.
I wanted you to say that. And you're graduating early. That is absolutely awesome. I am so proud of you, Carmela.
Thanks.
If you had to give advice to other teens out there, parents out there who are looking at this, because there's millions of viewers who are looking at this, didn't mean to make you nervous, what would you want them to know about this situation?
It can happen to anyone. Like, I mean, I was a cheerleader and I did things outside of school, and I'm really close with my parents, and it happened to me. I mean, there's all kinds of kids here, you know, with like good lives, and I mean, not all of them have good lives. It can happen to anyone. And like, parents, don't be afraid to like ask your children nicely. Don't like interrogate them, but yeah.
Thank you for that. That's very important, interrogation, because that's what creates the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're afraid to talk to your parent, then you're going to keep it hidden, and then you're going to do more and more, and the parent can actually create some of the anxiety.
And it's a disease like any other, you know.
Right, right. Well, young lady, I am so proud of you. I could just explode. So you keep on this journey that you're on, because you are super and you are going to be a future leader. There is no doubt in my mind.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, because we have a lot more coming up on Living by Design.
Next week on Living by Design, living with a secret.
Jeff molested me. You know, I was afraid my secret was going to come out like that. Yeah, just pop it in. Pop it out, yeah. And so I'd lived with it, and my close friends, my husband's family knew about the abuse, because I wanted people to understand some of my behaviors.
Welcome back to Living by Design. We're now here with Denise, who is the mother of that amazing young lady that I just spoke with. I know you are so proud.
Yes, I am. She's beautiful, smart.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know that we as parents, we don't want to see our children hurting and struggling and having any sorts of problems at all. So, I know you feel the same way. At what point did you realize and discover that there was a problem?
She wrote me a letter on Valentine's Day of 2013 and said, read this when you're at work, and said she'd been depressed. And so that's when we started looking into counseling. And
Okay, so you started out giving her counseling for her depression. Did she ever take medication for depression?
A number of different antidepressants.
Okay. So she tried the antidepressants, and you was noticing that it didn't seem to help? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
We tried different treatments for her, and nothing seemed to be working.
Really? What kind of warning signs were you seeing that, okay, this is not depression, there may be something else going on?
She didn't have what I thought the traditional symptoms of depression would be. I wasn't seeing lethargic, sleeping all the time, okay. No interest in anything. Okay. She was a cheerleader, she was in school, she was doing her homework, she was maintaining her grades.
Top grades.
She was, on the computer, on the phone, had people around, so I didn't see depression. And she tried a couple of times to give me hints, Mom, I'm sad. And I was like, well, everybody's sad occasionally, you know. Yeah. She didn't say, I'm so sad, my world's coming to an end. Okay. And I didn't hear that. So I didn't follow up. I just kind of, okay, you're sad. It'll get better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And you have your life. So, we as parents, and she's not your only child.
Right.
You have how many?
I have an older son.
Okay. All right. So, you have another son. And you have your other things that you're involved in. So yeah, you want to see what's going on, but you can't see everything because a lot of things children hide.
And I think when they try to tell you, she tried to say, I'm sad, and I heard, I'm sad. I didn't hear, I'm sad.
Right.
So I think it was just a miscommunication.
Now, she mentioned in her interview that she had a great relationship with you. Open communication, I love that. Thank you so much, because I think that is very key.
Yeah, I've raised my kids, you can always tell me anything. I always wanted them to know if you're at a party and something happens, call me. I will come get you. Absolutely. I will keep you safe.
Absolutely.
You give that message, you just don't ever know if it's being received.
Right, right.
But you keep giving it.
So when you did discover what the problem actually was, how did that make you feel?
I was shocked. I had no idea. When I found out there were drugs and alcohol, we don't have any alcohol in our house. Right. The only medication we have was my son's ADHD medication, and that was never missing or a problem. And how would I know? Right. So I was very surprised.
Very surprised. And so when you got over the surprise or shock or all the emotions that you were feeling, then what did you do? What actions did you take?
I really didn't know that drugs were a problem until the heroin situation arose.
Okay.
And
how did you find that out?
She ran away, and when she came back and was drug craving and told me that, I'm like, okay, you're getting help.
Okay, good.
And she said, well, it's not a problem. And oh yes, it's a problem for me.
Good for you.
Don't care if it's a problem for you. As long as I think it's a problem, I have to fix it. I'm a fixer, No,
you're a parent.
And so I took her to the immediate care center.
Okay.
And got her a drug that combats the craving.
Okay, okay. So it was actually withdrawal? Or
I'm not, I didn't see symptoms that you would typically think of as withdrawal. A person shaking and sick and like you see on TV.
Right, right. And thanks for saying that, because I think a lot of people equate that with the typical things you see on TV. So thanks for saying that it was subtle and it wasn't something that just glared and jumped out at good.
All of this was subtle. She's so high functioning and so intelligent that she does a great job of masking. And for an intelligent person, the difference between being persuasive and being manipulative is a very fine line.
Yes.
Right? It's all about the intent.
That's right.
So I really didn't have the depth of knowledge of what this problem was, but when I realized drugs were an issue, it explained a lot.
Right.
Why didn't these antidepressants work? Well, if I'm giving you an antidepressant and you're sneaking off and taking a depressant,
right,
the two are combating each other. So progress wasn't being made in the depression when you're taking depressants.
That's right.
And then heroin's a depressant. So, so once the medication was there, it had a side effect of making her very sleepy. So you can't go to school and be sleepy. And it was a struggle for a while. But once I knew the problem, then, okay, we're going to Fairbanks, we're having an assessment. I had started looking for another school and saw Hope online, and we'd actually made the appointment to come to Hope before Fairbanks.
That is awesome, and I'm so happy that you found Hope Academy, because this is an amazing organization and I absolutely love what they're doing. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked your daughter. What, based on your experience and everything that you know now, what do you want to say to other parents out there who are looking at this, who may be in denial, who may be missing the signs, or who may not know anything at all? What do you want to say to them that could help them with their issues? It's worth going through it. It's a difficult road when you realize that your child has a problem. You know, you want to, whose fault is it? There's a whole lot of trust that's gone. The dynamics of the household changes. You know, you try everything you can try and it doesn't seem like anything's enough. You don't see immediate results. But if you keep trying and try different things and do the things you know to do, then eventually you can have some success. And it's a marathon journey. It's not a sprint. Absolutely. And that's why I'm so happy that we have Hope Academy, because they get that. They understand it. You can't just jump and everything is good. Right. I think the traditional public school setting doesn't have the specialization or the capacity to handle kids with addiction issues. They are more disciplinary in their approach. They really don't want these kids in their school system because they have, 400 kids to keep safe and 2 very disruptive kids who, come to school under the influence or something, where Hope has that expertise and the specialization. And they also have different expectations. I mean, I think public schools tend to expect, if you're an addict, if you're a kid who skips school, if you're one of these bad kids, then you get labeled and you get treated differently. With Hope, everyone has the addiction issues in the past, and so they can focus on education, and they can expect, I expect you to be sober. Right. I expect you to be honest if you're not coming in sober. And we're building your future. Right. Yeah. I expect you to deal with your problem. I expect you to be nice to people. You don't get to manipulate here, and you need to get your education. Right. So they have that skill set that I think other schools don't. Absolutely. Denise, thank you so much. You have just been a wealth of knowledge. We appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your family, and you've just been awesome. I know you're going to help so many people, so thank you and God bless you. I'm Kathy Holloway Hill, and as you can see, it doesn't matter if you come from an upper class, middle class, or any class of family. This can happen to anyone. So we ask you, get help. Hope Academy is here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.